All right, this is looking good. All right, I've just been test riding this new Super73 S2 for Jimmy Nicholson, the Bachelor from 2021, and he's super pumped. He's coming today to pick it up. He also lives near the beach, so he's asked for a surfboard rack so he can carry his surfboard down to the beach. Plus, he'd love to carry his new partner Holly right on the back with him. So we're going to install some foot pegs. Stay tuned to find out how we install a surfboard rack and some foot pegs. Alrighty, so we'll just wheel it in to our studio and we'll get old Bob here to give us a hand fitting the rack. Let's show you what's in the box. We've got the surfboard rack from MBB. You've got some instructions which don't really apply because it's a Super 73. This is the bit that we need to adjust. So we'll show you how to adjust this. Alrighty, so this is how the rack comes. I've loosened some of the bolts. If we were to put the rack on like this, the poles would be facing up, which is completely wrong. We need to get these brackets facing this way so that the poles can come out the side of the bike. But in this case, we're going to have to flip it to fit on the bike. To do that, we need to undo these screws here. These two beats need to contract a bit, and so to do that we loosen all these bolts on the other side. Yeah, so Duncan's removed the seat for us so we can see this bar better. I was interested to know whether we could actually install it with the seat still on, but you potentially could, but you won't be able to screw these screws back in easily with the seat still there. So thanks to Duncan, we've got more space now. Also note on this S2, there's a weld joint here, which will potentially cause some problems when you put weight on the rack. It will have a tendency to slip around the bar. So in a minute we'll show you how we are going to fix that. But first thing we'll do is show you how to install this on that bar. Installing the rack on the S2, I needed to take a step back and look at what I did on the ZX and realise that they're both different. And I thought I'd point out those differences now so you can kind of understand where we're coming from when we're installing on the S2. So the cool thing about the ZX is that you don't need to remove the seat. The bar is quite proud of the seat, and also there's a bit more gap here. And also there's got a little hole underneath which we discovered. We think that's quite cool because when you are installing this component, this Allen key grub has a sharp bit inside, and when you screw that in we can pick up that hole. So we don't need to do any modifications to this bike for it to receive this mount, and it won't slide when that grub goes into this hole. I would ideally like to reproduce that on the S2. The S2 actually is different in that it has a weld joint around the end piece, and it doesn't have a hole. So what I'm thinking, to make this super secure and robust, I'm thinking of drilling a small hole, taking this grub out and drilling a small hole into the frame. Alternatively, you could put in a little bit of weld, spot weld there, if you really wanted to make sure that the rack mount didn't move when you applied excess weight to it. Why are we doing this? I guess it's just because of feedback we've had where sometimes the mount can slip and scratch the paint around there. So I'm just doing this as tight as possible because you really don't want this to slip. It actually feels like it's not even going to slip. But I think, with vibrations and time, they could potentially. So it's a good idea to keep your eye on these bolts and make sure they're all tight. And again, do it in a crisscross zigzag pattern where possible. Okay, now I might look at just drilling a tiny little spot drill in there so that I can run that grub screw in and make sure it won't slide. position. I'm actually going to reduce these a bit because the hole I did wasn't directly in the center of that hole. All right, now that I've loosened that, I'm going to get the grub. Okay. All right, so cool. So I can see that the grub screw has bitten into that tiny hole I put in the frame, and that's pretty much all we really need to do to make sure it's not going to slide around the frame. Now we can really tighten these up, and I'm happy that that's a good solution in that spot there. All right, so now that's on, and the whole bike moves when that's when you move that. Now you can get these going in there. Right, so I'm actually trying to tighten this up with the Allen key, but this handle's a bit big, so I just need another Allen key with a shorter handle. Hey, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Cheers, mate. This is much better. It's got a smaller. You can do it better. All right, so you can see what I've done. I've brought these holes out this side because we are going to put the rack on the right side so that people can step off to the left in the direction that the kickstand is. What we have are two racks that are like this, and it's designed to go something like this, right? So you've got holes down the back and holes down the side, so you could do it this way or this way. I'm going to do it like this. Okay, so both racks. Okay, so you can see how we've got these racks going in at different heights. So an easy way to fix that is to, well, bring this one a bit shorter. Did I say easy? Yeah. And then make this one a bit longer. And then, so they'll be roughly the same height then, even though they start at different heights. Now that this one's shorter and this one's longer, these will be roughly the same height. And then the other thing you can do to make it, you know, super even or in the shape of your surfboard, is to spread them out. This one might be higher, this one might be lower. But yeah, it may even be a good idea to get your surfboard and put it in the racks and just have it sort of exactly how you want it. And now you can tighten up these guys. There you have a very stable surfboard rack. And of course now if you want to put a passenger on, you may not want the surfboard rack, you just hit this little bubble dot thingy, what do you call this, a press stud, and it slides out. Well, you know what? This is real life. We're not going to edit this from our video because we show you how things really are here. Have I done this too tight? This is such a strong surf rack. Don't worry, it'll come out. There we go. Watch your fingers. Okay. So yeah, that was a bit tight, but hey, it's new. And another thing you could do is put a little bit of grease on there just to slide it in and out. A bit of lube does the job. That will stay there like that. That's all secure. And I'll put the seat back on and then we'll put some foot pegs on. Foot pegs. So something we made earlier, something we prepared earlier, that's what people say, isn't it? Something we prepared earlier is these really nice looking foot pegs. We've had some experience, we've beveled the edge. It fits right there. It's designed to be big, to give yourself a big footprint. And what comes with it is some essentially deck grip that we've cut to be the right size to go around it if you wanted to add extra grip. And the appropriate nuts and bolts to get that on your bike. Your bolt with a washer, and there's also a large nut. It's worth noting that when you can actually put this bolt through here, and there's a thread in this. So you can actually just screw that on, and at this point, you're done. Super easy. The reason that we include this nut is for you to put it in there up against, or to secure that bolt into place if you did want to make it a lot more secure. So see how you go. If you like the look of that, that's good, but just be aware it could be a bit slippery. So you've got this grip tape you can chuck on if you want to. Just peel it off the back and then tape it there. You may even want to trim it to your design or however you like. When putting the nut on, we do need another little tool, the socket wrench that goes in through there, and I think Bob actually has it. Bob, have you got that? Oh yeah. Thanks, Bob. All right, so this, you get the right size socket for that. If I put this in here, this is just going to fall, isn't it? Have I done it? Huh. In actual fact, I've done it just by forcing it. Now I'm going to need my little wrench adjustable spanner thingy. And biggie. Actually, if I leave my finger on there, is it turning? A little bit. I don't think that's ever coming off. Oh, and it came out terrific. Happy days. And that's how you make sure the foot peg never comes off. Oh, and there's the other one. So we can do the other side now. Alrighty, and that's how to put the foot pegs on. So now you can ride off into the sunset with your special someone. Whoops. It's right here.
Oh, that is sick. You get the doubling pegs on there. That's for your holes. Yes. Oh, and that's a surfboard rack.
Yeah. So we can show you how that's installed.
This is, I know I'm just like it's like a toy shop for me, okay? So just, oh, that's sick. Look out, Bondi. Gonna get terrorized.
Yeah. Just follow that line in there, yep. It'll get a bit easier as it gets older, as it has more use. Now I was just explaining to the viewers that you can tweak this. Like if you loosen these screws, you can open that splay more depending on what board you're carrying.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh yeah, we need to try on your helmets.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get your hair in it. All right, we're on. There you go. Yeah, you look so cute. Okay. Why are you smiling so much? Does that mean you approve of my purchase? Oh, she wants, hold on, I gotta pair it. Pairing timed out.
She's off.
She's off. Well, I'm gonna run with you. Go. No, you don't need to use the pedals now, you just use that. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Come on, keep up.
I'm like, it goes like 50. I'm not gonna be able to keep up.
That's awesome.
That's true love. Right
yeah,
there.
True love. This is like, that's like Christmas time, a bunch of kids with a brand new toy. It's awesome. And it happens every single time for every new customer. It's so much fun. That's what we love about a job.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, you ready?
you're quite weighty, aren't
Yeah, I know. You got it. Hey, look at you having fun. Whee!
There we go.
Nice.
Awesome.
Love it.
No worries. Thanks, Jimmy. See you, mate.